Hello and welcome to the JSA studio, where we strive to stay away from hot takes and instead deliver actual content. I'm your host, as always, Nathan, and today we're going to be breaking down JJ McCarthy versus ECU. We're going to talk about 5 of his plays, starting off with this one right here. This play, we're going to see a little action here with Roman Wilson, is going to come over here and he's going to run a deep out. And Cornelius Johnson, after motioning in over here, he's just going to run a little flat route right here. I'm going to go ahead and let it play for a little bit here. JJ McCarthy, this is one read. He's not really looking backside. He's going to come over here. You see this defender right here. This guy right here. Well, that's a horrible spot. Anyway, this guy right here. He is currently covering Roman Wilson. So JJ McCarthy, now, look where his eyes are. Over here. He is going to look him off so that he can go over here so he can throw the ball where he actually wants to throw the ball and pick up the first down. We're going to let it play again. You're going to see him come off of the ball, go right over here. So now I'm going to pause it right here before we get to the ball placement and everything like that. Look at JJ McCarthy. Look at where all of his momentum is going. All of his momentum is taking him forward. Last year, he was an arm thrower. Now he's throwing with his whole body. If I let it go just a little bit more, you can see where he lines up. See, you can draw, it's blurry, I understand that, but you can draw a straight line from where his shoulder ended up to directly where the ball is going to be, which is going to be right about over here. And we let it throw. This is a great ball placement. Roman Wilson isn't particularly open in this play, but it's a great ball placement. He goes up, makes the catch. The defender actually does a really good job in coverage there. Gets his hand in. Roman Wilson kind of bobbles a little bit, never loses control. It's a catch. It's a great play by JJ McCarthy. I'm going to go ahead, run it back here, and I'll play it at full speed so you can see everything that I'm talking about in the full glory. You're going to see how quick he was able to do this. He's going to look off them, throw the ball, pinpoint accuracy. It's a very impressive play. When I saw this play live, this is like his 3rd pass of the game. I was like, oh, he might be a little bit different this year. So this is the second play that we're going to look at here. We're about halfway through the second quarter, and what we're going to see here is how JJ McCarthy responds to pressure. And it wasn't perfect. There are a couple of nitpicks to talk about here, but all in all, it's still a good play. What are the routes that are being ran? Roman Wilson right here is just going to run a little drag route across the field in case it's man coverage. It's not. It's going to be zone. And I believe this is Samaj Morgan, I think. He's going to just run a clear out route down the field for the actual first read on this play, which is Cornelius Johnson. He is going to run just a little dig concept across the field, go like that. Dig concept, that's what I call it growing up. That's just the terminology that I used. If you call it something different, that's fine. But the idea is that you're going to get this guy to clear out, and then he is going to be in a bad position in order to make a play on Cornelius Johnson here. So we're going to go ahead and let it play for a little bit, nice and slow, so we can keep track of what's going on. You're going to see 4 people blitz along with the 3 down linemen. So they've got a lot of people coming at him. This guy's not particularly rushing, and then he's going to wait for him to look away. Great pickup by Donovan Edwards here. This is the guy that's going to apply the pressure right here. And see, JJ McCarthy had to back up, drift a little bit. And we're going to see something we don't particularly like right there. Back it up again so you can see it. It's going to have just a little bit of a hitch. It'll be right here. So you can go ahead and look at it if you missed it the first time. It's just a little bit of a hitch in the throw. He's going to pat it instead of throw it. That is something that NFL QB coaches are going to look at and be like, okay, we can clean that up, but it is something that we have to address. It's sort of like when a shortstop cocks his arm and then like pulls it back and then throws it again, and then the runner ends up being safe because he took half of a second to reload the throw. It's kind of like that. He probably wouldn't have been able to fully follow through on this play because this guy right here is going to apply pressure and he's going to tackle him. But it would have been slightly better. It's not that big of a deal on this play, but it could be a problem on a different play. You're going to also see him here. I'm actually going to let it play for just a tad bit longer. And look at how spread apart he is. He's way further spread apart than he was on the last play. Look where his foot is. His foot's all the way out here. His foot is like a half of a foot behind the ball. His right foot is way out in front too. This needs to be tighter so that you can get that full power out of the legs. That's why it's going to end up being just a little bit short here on this play. But he is going to get tackled, doesn't get to follow through. That could be another contributing factor as to why it's going to be a little bit short on the throw. But to be able to have the pressure to move around away from where you're trying to throw the ball and then be able to still get it 20 yards downfield to your wide receiver here. I don't think Cornelius Johnson really needed to leave his feet to catch this ball here, but it's whatever, doesn't matter that much. But it caught the ball. To be able to move around away from where you were and still be too spread out where you're basically just throwing the ball with your arm and still be able to get it where it needs to be and for it to still be a catchable ball is pretty impressive. So on this play here, just a little bit later on in the same drive, we're going to see JJ handle the pressure a little bit better than he did on the previous one. I don't know what Cornelius Johnson is doing backside, but he's irrelevant. Blake Corum is going to act like he's going to block and then realize the offensive line has probably got it and then run a little route like that, I think. And then Donovan Edwards here, he's going to release directly into the flat to try and pull a defender forward. Colston Loveland is going to go down the field and run a little flag route like this. And this right here is Frederick Moore. He's going to run across the field on this play here. So I'm going to go ahead and let it run here. They're going to be a blitz here, and Trevor Keegan actually does a pretty decent job here. He's right there with him. This is actually on Carson Barnhart a tad bit. Probably could have been just a little bit better. He does get beat. It's a little swipe move here. JJ is going to step up into the pocket here, just slide up a little bit. He's very good at this. He did this very well last year. He's very good at manipulating the pocket. And if he doesn't do that, it's a sack. So he's going to feel the pressure backside. And you see that again? Back up just a tad bit. Once again, right where the ball is. Right where the ball is. He's going to do that little hitch thing again. He needs to tap the ball beforehand. He shouldn't be doing that. Again, that's just a little thing that he's going to have to do. Doesn't make a difference on this play. Could potentially down the line. I'm actually going to back up a little bit more again. Forgot to point something out. When he releases the ball, or when he's going to release the ball, look where his back foot is. Back foot's right here. It's inside of the ball. Where's his front foot? His front foot is much closer. He's much more compact. That is going to allow him to get that oomph on the ball and get it where it needs to go quicker. He's going to need it more on this play than the previous play. If he had been spread out like the last play under pressure, I'm not sure this ball gets completed. But he is going to throw it. It is going to be very accurate and a very good pass. See him over here. You got this defender running in to get here. If that ball isn't as strong as it is, and maybe against a bit of a better team, he could potentially, this guy right here could potentially get back and either hit him or as the ball's getting there, or get his arms up and potentially block it or knock it out of his hands or something. But it's a good all-around play. Again, those deep out routes, those out-breaking outs down the field, those are the hardest throws in football, and we've already seen 3 examples of that so far breaking down this film. So on this play right here, we're going to see some situational ball. Come down here to 14 seconds in the half. Got to get out of bounds. On this play, you're going to have Samaj Morgan backside here. He's going to come over here, run a little stop route right here, and he's actually going to be wide open. But you see Michigan only has 1 timeout, so they need to conserve the timeout if possible. Donovan Edwards is going to stay in here and block. AJ Barner here is going to run a flag on the deep out. This is going to be what I call a smash concept, where he's going to go downfield and run a little curl. He's going to run over there. And the idea is to put this defender right here in a bind in zone coverage, where he's either going to jump the Frederick Moore here, in which case you throw to AJ Barner and get more yards, or he's going to jump to AJ Barner, in which case you throw it to Frederick Moore and he can get out of bounds. So that's the play concept here. I'm going to let it play here nice and slow again. And he's going to snap the ball. You're going to see one guy drop back, one guy replace him. Donovan Edwards sees where the blitz is coming from. If I need to be there, I'm good. Then he's going to come back out. And we're going to back up just a tad bit. When you see JJ McCarthy here, let's go right back to where the ball is here. Let's see if he does the hitch. He doesn't this time. He's going to throw that. And one small thing here, you're going to see after he releases the ball, look where he's standing straight up. He's not drifting anywhere. All of his momentum is taking him towards where the ball wants to be. That's a horrible line, but you get the point. And Frederick Moore right here is going to catch the ball and get out of bounds. And once again, we're going to back up just a tad bit. You see here right off the bat, JJ McCarthy is looking over here. Now, if he was looking over here, he would potentially see Samaj Morgan here come wide open. So let's look at Morgan here on this play, because he's going to be wide open in the middle of the field. Now, JJ knew pre-snap what the coverage was going to be and knew where to throw the ball and everything. And knew that they had to get out of bounds as well. So he's not even going to look at him, even though he's wide open. Samaj Morgan right here. It's wide open. His nearest defender is 5 yards away from him. Hypothetically, he can make a miss, and it's a big gain. But he's not beyond the first down line, so you're not going to get that extra 2 or 3 seconds for the chains to stop. And with 12 seconds now, you need to get out of bounds. So he's going to throw the ball to Frederick Moore. This is good decision-making and a great throw that, as we see here, leads him towards the sideline. That ball is pulling more towards the sideline. That is excellent ball placement, which is one of the most difficult things that young quarterbacks have to learn during the process. And Moore's going to get out of bounds here. He's not going to quite get the first down. Doesn't matter because he gets out of bounds. That's more important. And Michigan is going to have one more play with a timeout and then be able to kick the field goal heading into the half. Good quarterback play from JJ McCarthy here. So on this play right here, we're going to see some situational ball. Come down here to 14 seconds in the half. Got to get out of bounds. On this play, you're going to have Samaj Morgan backside here. He's going to come over here, run a little stop route right here, and he's actually going to be wide open. But you see Michigan only has one timeout, so they need to conserve the timeout if possible. Donovan Edwards is going to stay in here and block. AJ Barner here is going to run a flag on the deep out. This is going to be what I call a smash concept, where he's going to go downfield and run a little curl. He's going to run over there. And the idea is to put this defender right here in a bind in zone coverage, where he's either going to jump the Frederick Moore here, in which case you throw to AJ Barner and get more yards, or he's going to jump to AJ Barner, in which case you throw it to Frederick Moore and he can get out of bounds. So that's the play concept here. I'm going to let it play here nice and slow again. And he's going to snap the ball. You're going to see one guy drop back, one guy replace him. Donovan Edwards sees where the blitz is coming from. If I need to be there, I'm good. Then he's going to come back out. And we're going to back up just a tad bit. When you see JJ McCarthy here, let's go right back to where the ball is here. Let's see if he does the hitch. He doesn't this time. He's going to throw that. And one small thing here, you're going to see after he releases the ball, look where he's standing straight up. He's not drifting anywhere. All of his momentum is taking him towards where the ball wants to be. That's a horrible line, but you get the point. And Frederick Moore right here is going to catch the ball and get out of bounds. And once again, we're going to back up just a tad bit. You see here right off the bat, JJ McCarthy is looking over here. Now, if he was looking over here, he would potentially see Samaj Morgan here come wide open. So let's look at Morgan here on this play, because he's going to be wide open in the middle of the field. Now, JJ knew pre-snap what the coverage was going to be and knew where to throw the ball and everything. And knew that they had to get out of bounds as well. So he's not even going to look at him, even though he's wide open. Smaj Morgan right here. It's wide open. His nearest defender is 5 yards away from him. Hypothetically, he can make a miss, and it's a big gain. But he's not beyond the first down line, so you're not going to get that extra 2 or 3 seconds for the chains to stop. And with 12 seconds now, you need to get out of bounds. So he's going to throw the ball to Frederick Moore. This is good decision-making and a great throw that, as we see here, leads him towards the sideline. That ball is pulling more towards the sideline. That is excellent ball placement, which is one of the most difficult things that young quarterbacks have to learn during the process. And Moore's going to get out of bounds here. He's not going to quite get the first down. Doesn't matter because he gets out of bounds. That's more important. And Michigan is going to have one more play with a timeout and then be able to kick the field goal heading into the half. Good quarterback play from JJ McCarthy here. All in all, the film looks really, really good for JJ McCarthy. My main takeaways were that he has improved greatly from last year to this year and is now being given the opportunities to show off his talent and how good he actually is. In other words, I don't think the Michigan offense is babying him. I think last year there was a little bit of that, especially in the middle of the year where they stopped really taking deep shots and didn't particularly let JJ McCarthy sling it really at all. But now they are letting him do that. There were just a few smaller problems that we had. The hitch with the ball, mechanics broke down slightly when he was under pressure. That's all par for the course, though, with young QBs. It's an extraordinary exception if that isn't a problem for a young quarterback. So it's not that big of a deal. All in all, before really diving into this film, I didn't particularly see a whole lot of first-round tape out of JJ McCarthy. I saw the physical attributes. I know about the intangibles. But now I've seen it all on tape. I am willing to say that this is a top 10 quarterback in college football and a probable first-round pick, if not this year, then the year after. And unfortunately, that is all that I have for you today. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you to like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I plan on doing film breakdowns every Wednesday during the college football season. So stick around and subscribe if you want to see those. If you disagree with me for any reason at all, or if you just have something to say, go ahead and drop a comment in the comment section below. But let's just keep it civil. After all, what do I know? I'm just some asshole. And I'll see you next time.